Why does the most powerful Republican in America seem to have no bank account?
That can't be good.
It's one of those questions like, why does my husband have a burner phone? And why does Donald Trump look at Ivanka that way? Where there are really no good answers. Look, it's true that about 5% of U.S. households don't have a bank account. But it's definitely more than a little weird that the new Speaker of the House of Representatives and one of the most powerful human beings on earth, Mike Johnson, seems to be one of them.
You're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money back in a safe. The money's not here. Well, your money's in Joe's house and in the Kennedy house.
That's what Roger Sollenberger, senior political reporter at the Daily Beast, discovered this week. And this is one of those discoveries that opens up all kinds of further questions about Mike Johnson, a guy who, the more we get to know him, the stranger and stranger he seems. Here's Roger talking about what he found out on my podcast, Beyond Politics, and why it's disturbing.
Mike Johnson has never reported having a bank account. That is pretty unusual for any member of Congress, but let alone a Speaker of the House. He's suddenly been elevated to, one of the most powerful political positions in the country. And on his financial disclosures, they reveal a pretty precarious financial life that he's living. According to ethics experts, this is notable and it's worth discussing. To be very clear, Mike Johnson his household income is well over $200,000. That's also 10 times the median household income for his state, for Louisiana. It's nearly 10 times as much for his constituency as well. What seems likely is that he is, like a lot of Americans, probably has an account that does not quite trigger the threshold for reporting requirement. He has less than a total of $5,000 in some sort of bank account. Most Americans can't afford a $1,000 emergency, right? That pops up. So in that sense, yes, it is relatable to the everyday American experience, but the everyday American experience is also not being the Speaker of the House of Representatives, right? One of the most powerful positions in the country. A lot of people want a lot of things from you, right? And for having somebody in that position who might have concerns about his financial security, I think is something that we should. Suddenly this person has lots of influence. People are going to want a piece of that person. Obviously, corruption is Bob Menendez does not care if there's a D or an R, whatever, right? But there are broad, human sort of incentives at play here, right? And the acronym MICE, right? MICE, for ways that you might be able to compromise a person or work your way into making someone do what you want. The M is for money. It's the first one.
There are only three things that could be happening here, and they're all bad. One, and the least troubling of them, is that he simply failed to disclose his bank accounts 4 times in a row and had no comment about it. Not even, whoops, clerical error.
He simply said what every good white cheater says when caught. I misinterpreted the rules. It's what you must also say when caught cheating. I misinterpreted the rules. Say it with me. I misinterpreted the rules.
Second possibility, and slightly worse, maybe he's just living paycheck to paycheck. Look, many Americans are in this position. In fact, one of the important reasons I'm a Democrat is I believe in working together as a country to help those among us who have the least. I feel like someone said that once. Someone that right-wing self-professed super Christians should be familiar with. But even if he's poor, it's still bad. Having one of the most powerful people in the country, if not the world, vulnerable to corruption for financial reasons is not something we should invite as a country. Look at Donald Trump. Even though he invented how much he's worth, he's still clearly rich, and even he seems to be spilling our biggest secrets at the same time that members of his family are getting giant foreign payoffs. Weird. But third, and the worst possibility, is that there are bank accounts and there is corruption and we just don't know about it yet. And I'm certainly not one to lob accusations, but the idea of secretive right-wing billionaires paying off right-wing Republicans in positions of power to keep them loyal, that could never happen in America, right?
The GOP donor who gave gifts and paid for luxury vacations for Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas says he would rather not talk about his relationship to the justice at all.
Right?